You know, they're really the ultimate mystery of biology. They can cause global pandemics, but at the same time, they kind of keep us alive. They aren't technically living things, but they absolutely dominate the living world. So, what in the world is a virus? Well, the answer starts with a really fundamental question about life itself.
So right off the bat, we're faced with this huge paradox. I mean, on one hand, viruses have genetic material. They evolve. Those are key characteristics of life, right? But on the other hand, they can't reproduce on their own. They're not really alive because they need a host cell to do anything. That makes them the ultimate parasite, just existing right on the very edge of life.
Okay, so what's so wild is when you put them side by side like this, the difference is just staggering. A cell, like the bacterium you see there, is a totally self-sufficient, free-living organism. It can find food, it can grow, it can reproduce, all by itself. But a virus? It's way, way simpler. It's basically just this tiny, inert little package, completely dormant until it finds a host cell to hijack.
Honestly, the best way to wrap your head around how they operate is to think of a viral infection as a microscopic heist. The virus is the thief, and our cells are the bank, holding all the precious machinery it needs to make copies of itself.
So check out the thief's toolkit. It's brutally simple and efficient. You've got the genetic blueprint, that's either DNA or RNA, which are basically two different kinds of software code for life. And that code is protected by this tough protein shell called a capsid. And that's literally it. A simple, elegant little package designed for one thing and one thing only: invasion.
And just like any great heist, there's a plan, right? This is the playbook for a total cellular takeover. It's this whole 7-step process, starting from the first contact, that's attachment, all the way to the final getaway, the release. Every single step ensures the virus can churn out thousands of new copies to go infect more cells.
All right, step 1, casing the joint. A virus doesn't just bump into any old cell. No, it's evolved to find a very specific target. The proteins on its surface are like a unique key, and they will only bind to very specific receptor molecules on a cell's surface. That's the lock. For instance, the rhinovirus that gives you the common cold, it uses a molecule our cells normally use just to stick to each other. I mean, how clever is that? They're total masters at using our own biology against us.
Okay, so once they're latched on, it's go time. Time to break in. Some viruses, like HIV, literally just fuse their outer shell with the cell membrane and dump their contents inside. But others, they're way sneakier. They actually trick the cell into swallowing them whole. Basically, they get an invitation inside. But no matter how they get in, the goal is always the same. The capsid breaks open, and that malicious blueprint, the viral genome, is set loose inside the cell.
And this is the real heart of the heist. The viral genome takes command. It shuts down all the cell's normal operations and starts barking new orders. It's like it just barges in and says, "Stop what you're doing, from now on you work for me." The cell's own machinery is forced to read the viral blueprint and just starts making viral proteins and copying the viral genome over and over and over again.
But here's the thing, our cells aren't just going to take this lying down. Oh no. They have a really sophisticated security system that's designed to detect these microscopic invaders and fight back.
Think of this as the first alarm system going off. Our innate immunity is our frontline defense. It's a general-purpose system of barriers and patrol cells that are always on the lookout. So when a virus gets past things like our skin or mucus, this is the system it has to face first.
So you might be wondering, how does a cell even know it's been hijacked? Well, it has built-in motion detectors. These are special proteins that are basically designed to spot things that just shouldn't be there, like foreign genetic material from a virus. As soon as these detectors spot these viral parts, they sound the alarm.
And what happens next is just brilliant. That alarm triggers the release of these signaling molecules called interferons. You can think of it like the cell sending out a distress signal to all of its neighbors, screaming, "We're being invaded." This signal puts all the surrounding cells into an antiviral state, making them way more resistant. And by the way, this is also a big part of how vaccines work. They train the other part of our immune system, the adaptive part, by showing it a harmless piece of the virus ahead of time. It's like giving your security team a photo of the thief before the heist even starts.
Okay, so after everything we've talked about, viruses as these hostile invaders, get ready for a major twist in the story. Because it turns out not all viruses are bad guys. In fact, some are absolutely essential to our health,
and can even be used as powerful allies. It all started to change back in 1917 with this incredible story. A microbiologist named Felix de Herel was studying soldiers who were dying from dysentery, and he noticed something amazing. In the patients who actually survived, there was some invisible agent that was destroying the bacteria causing the illness. He called these things bacteriophages, which literally means bacteria eaters. He had discovered viruses that hunt other germs.
And this table just lays it out so perfectly, the two faces of a virus. On one side, you've got the usual suspects, the notorious agents of disease like COVID-19 and the flu. But on the other side, we're now harnessing their incredible abilities. We're using phage therapy to fight antibiotic-resistant bacteria. We're engineering oncolytic viruses to hunt down and destroy cancer cells. And viral vectors are now crucial tools for delivering life-saving gene therapies. That entire field would be decades behind without our ability to use viruses.
Okay, get ready for this number. Just let it sink in for a second. We already know that the microorganisms in our bodies outnumber our own cells 10 to 1, but viruses might outnumber them by another factor of 10. And the crazy part is, the vast majority of these make up our virome, and they're not causing harm. They're actually playing crucial roles in our health, like training our immune systems and protecting us from dangerous bacteria.
So what this all comes down to is that viruses are so much more than just germs that make us sick. They are a fundamental force of nature that has been shaping life on this planet since the very beginning.
Yeah, this quote from Eugene Koenen just nails it. Viruses aren't just a problem for us. They are a key part of the entire global ecosystem. They drive evolution in this constant arms race with their hosts, and they regulate these massive nutrient cycles in the oceans that are responsible for producing half of the oxygen we breathe. Think about that.
And that brings us full circle, right back to that central mystery. They're an agent of disease, but they're also a tool for medicine. They're an engine of evolution, yet they might not even be alive. Viruses just completely blur the lines we've drawn to try and understand the world. So as we keep grappling with their impact, the biggest question still remains. If a virus isn't alive, then what is it?